Good morning, everyone. My name is Jill Schnarr, and I am Telus's Chief Brand and Communications Officer. Thank you for joining us today at Telus Garden, our global headquarters, located on the traditional and ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We are grateful to live and work in this beautifully inspiring community. On behalf of our Telus team across the globe and our President and CEO, Darren Entwistle, we are absolutely thrilled to stand before you alongside the following incredible partners. From the Government of Canada, Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario, the Honourable Evan Solomon. And Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of AI and Digital Innovation and Member of Parliament for Vancouver Granville, Talib Noor Mohammed. From the Government of BC, the Honourable Ravi Kahlon, Minister of Jobs and Economic Growth, and the Honourable Diana Gibson, Minister of Citizen Services, and the Honourable Rick Glumac, Minister of State for AI and New Technologies. From the City of Vancouver, Mayor Ken Sim and members of Council, the founder of Westbank Corporation, Ian Gillespie, and President and CEO of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade, Bridget Anderson. Today, we are coming together for a landmark announcement that will strengthen Canada's AI infrastructure to meet surging demand and literally power the future of artificial intelligence right here in British Columbia. It's fitting that we're making this announcement here at Telus Garden as Vancouver's first LEED Platinum certified office tower and one of the highest LEED scored buildings in Canada. Telus Garden exemplifies our unwavering commitment to sustainability. For the media in the room, please know that all of our details about today's announcement can be found in our digital media kit. It is now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Member of Parliament for Vancouver Granville and Parliamentary Secretary to Canada's Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation, Talib Noor Mohammed. Talib.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks for that very warm welcome. Darren, thank you for welcoming us to this amazing building, this amazing place. And I see so many friends here, and I want to just take a quick minute to thank, of course, and I'm sure Evan will do this in more detail, but we've got Minister Kahlon, Minister Glumac, Mayor and councillors, of course, Bridget, Darren, who have I missed? I think I've probably missed somebody, but there's amazing folks from Vancouver here. And the reason I think it's important to mention that is because this is a moment not just for our city, but it's a moment for our province. And it's great to join partners from Telus, from the Government of BC, from the City of Vancouver, and the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade. As the Parliamentary Secretary, as you heard, and as a proud Vancouver Member of Parliament, as the Chair of the BC Caucus, I am particularly pleased to be here today as we mark this incredibly important step in Canada's path towards sovereign AI capacity. Today is much more than a single moment or a single project. It's about Canada's long-term ambition to build the infrastructure, the partnerships, and the capacity that we need to be able to lead in the AI economy in a way that reflects our values and our sovereignty. It's also about showing that Canadian leadership in AI can be both ambitious and responsible, that drives innovation, that supports economic growth, and advances solutions that align with our environmental and public interest objectives. And it matters that we're here together in British Columbia, a province with exceptional talent, an incredible innovation ecosystem, and even though we've been flying under the radar until now, we're going to play a central role in shaping Canada's digital future. And it's a testament to the folks that are gathered in this room that we are here, and it's a testament to what British Columbia holds and the promise that British Columbia holds in being that leader for Canada's AI and digital sovereignty today and into the future. Now, before I conclude, and welcome Evan. I want to take a moment just to thank Darren for his longstanding leadership and his contributions, not just to Telus, but to the business community here in Vancouver and across Canada's technology sector. We're going to miss you, but I'm sure, Darren, they're going to put you to use in other ways. I'm sure we have plans and others do. But I think it's important to note that when you have a global headquarters in a place like Vancouver, it sends a message not just to British Columbians and to Canadians, but to the world, that this province and this city are not just primed and ready for business, but that we stand at the intersection of all the things that matter to Canada, all the values, all the ambition that we have to look global. And the fact that we are in a global headquarters here to make this announcement today is a testament to all of the great things that I know we're going to accomplish here in Vancouver and in British Columbia for Canada. So now it's my pleasure to invite my minister, the Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation, my friend, the Honourable Evan Solomon, to the podium. Evan.
Thanks, Talib. Bonjour tout le monde. Bonjour. What a view. I'm telling you, there's nothing like coming to Vancouver to see this most beautiful city, most beautiful province. It is, and I hear it never rains, so this is fantastic. This is really great. What a day, an auspicious day. Let me just say something about Talib, who I've been working with for the last year. Couldn't ask for a better partner, and you could not ask for a better representative. Lifts the voice of not only his riding and his community and the people in it, but lifts the voice of Vancouver and BC as the head of our BC caucus. Absolutely powerful voice in government, a great advocate, brings the perspective, fights the right fights, makes the right alliances, is a true partner, and for me has been, I'm very fortunate to not only work with him, but to call him a friend. But I can tell you, there is no better fighter for this city, for this province, for his community than Talib, and you are super lucky to have him, and he is super well respected, so thank you, my friend. It is absolutely great. I really appreciate, Jill, thank you for inviting us to this remarkable building, which literally, when we talk about building right, building with our values, building with our ideas, building that reflect who we are as a country in every way, this is it. This is what we can do. So what a pleasure to be here. And these things, you know, you say them, but it matters deeply in every way. So Jill, thank you. I just want to say to Minister Callon and Gibson and Glumac, I've worked with all three of them. Fantastic leadership. I'm going to run out of time thanking people. There'll be nothing to say, but fantastic provincial leadership. We work very closely. Today's announcement is a result of their push, their work, their advocacy. And by the way, it does not just stop at this. There's lots more coming. It is, you have a fantastic provincial team who are in very close contact. And I'm just hoping one day I can see Ravi out on the pitch there doing some field hockey one day, but we'll see about that. Mayor, thank you so much. A great team to see Mayor Sim here, and councillors Mike, Sarah, Lenny, and Peter. Peter, a former journalist, showing that there is life after journalism. Well done. And Mike told me that he and I connected like 30 years ago when I was running I'd started a company, the Canada's first magazine about digital culture, and we were connected on that, and he wrote a letter because back then that was the fastest form of communication. No, it wasn't, but we wrote back and forth. So it's great to see you here. Look, I wanted to start with a simple question. And I think it's actually the most complicated policy question that we are faced with as a country. What does sovereignty look like? And what does digital sovereignty look like? À quoi ressemble vraiment la souveraineté? Not just as an idea or a slogan, and not just as a policy document, but as we're talking about the building, what does it look like in the real world? And the truth is, it looks like infrastructure. It's building. It looks like power, compute, data centers. It looks like Canadian companies building things that will function under Canadian law, free from the coercion of others, used by Canadian researchers, Canadian innovators, Canadian businesses, and Canadian public institutions. It looks like building, as the Prime Minister says, and this is the age we're at, with steel, concrete, and code. This is the public infrastructure of the future. And that's why today is such a big deal. Today we are announcing that Telus's remarkable BC Sovereign AI Factory is advancing under our data center initiative that is technically called the Enabling Large-Scale Sovereign AI Data Centers Initiative. A beautiful title that I'm sure will roll off your tongues for the rest of your lives. But it is about enabling infrastructure. It's not one company, it's not one project, it's the infrastructure that Canada needs to compete in the age of AI. And not just in the age of AI. To build the economy of the future at a time when the political realignment is happening as fast as the technological acceleration. And you got to build in that. That is the only option you've got. And if you want to build, you have to build the ports. You got to build the mines. You got to build the infrastructure. You got to build affordable housing. You got to build up your communities, but you got to build up the compute. You got to build up the energy. You got to have the secure facilities. You've got to have the networks, and you've got to have the people and the skills to use it. We need a skilled workforce. And countries that have that kind of infrastructure will shape the next economy. And countries that do not have it will be shaped, have it shaped for them. And Canada's chosen to build. And two of the builders here, Ian Gillespie at Westbank, Darren Entwistle, Bridget Anderson, who have been part of building this city and this country. I just want to say a word about them. You're what we need, and we'll talk about it. This is what people who every day are in the business of building, on the ground, working with the political leadership, but you're building. And I'll say something about Darren in a minute, but this is 26 years and he's coming to the end of chapter 1, so there'll be another 26 somewhere. Builders are rare. When Jeremy Hansen was on the dark side of the moon and he emerged back and he spoke to our Prime Minister, he said, if you really want to build, we need to take risks. People, when you get to a LEED certified building and a big project in 26 years and you look good in a suit, he always looks good, it's crazy. People think, oh yeah, it's inevitable. Oh yeah, it's easy. It ain't easy. 26 years in this business, you're in the valley. You are slugging it out and you are betting the farm to make this thing. And those risks can go either way. It looks like it worked out. It is a close call every day when you're in that seat. And we just want to say you've taken the risks, you've had the vision, you are a true Canadian builder. And what you've done for 26 years, we need now more than ever. So please don't feel tired, because we need you. And we need you to keep on projects like this. In January, because we have chosen to do what Darren's done, to do what Ian's doing, is to build as a country, to build on our values. And in January, we launched this call out for large-scale sovereign AI data centers, and we asked a question: who's ready to build sovereign AI infrastructure in Canada at scale with Canadian values and with Canadian communities? 160 proposals came through, 160, which tells you something important, that we have a real pipeline for AI infrastructure projects. It tells you that developers and companies and innovators and energy partners and people who want to be the next Darren want to build. And it tells you that the Government of Canada also has a role to enable that ambition and to turn it into capacity. Nous sommes prêts. We are ready. We assess the proposals against some key criteria. Sovereignty, one of them. Economic and ecosystem benefit for jobs, another one. Performance capabilities. We should not settle for second best. Energy considerations. Citizens expect that ratepayers will not be hurt. They expect water and energy use to be efficient. Readiness. Let's go. Project cost and structure, and other criteria as well. Telus's project is the first one we're announcing publicly that we are moving ahead and advancing under our Enabling Large-Scale Sovereign AI Data Center initiative. If you practice that enough, you can say it quickly. It reflects the kind of ambitious infrastructure that we need as a country. A large-scale, sustainable sovereign AI factory here in BC. A project drawing 98% of its power from BC Hydro's renewable sources. A project using closed-loop liquid cooling to reduce cooling energy by 80% compared to traditional data centers, 80% less. A project where the waste heat is captured from servers and can be transferred into the Creative Energies district system, heating buildings around it, up to 150,000 homes. This is how you build right. Think about that. $9 billion in value, 1,000 jobs just to build it, hundreds and hundreds of jobs afterwards, seeding a local ecosystem, heating 150,000 homes. The city, the province, the federal government working in tandem with great innovators. The infrastructure powering our economy can help heat a city. That's not just innovation, that's innovation by design. The project sites span Kamloops, Mount Pleasant, and downtown Vancouver and brings together great companies, Telus, Westbank, Allied Properties, and Creative Energy. Canadian partners, Canadian capacity, Canadian benefit. But the bigger point is that AI is not just here. It's not going to transform our country because we've got a handful of frontier companies building powerful models. The macroeconomic growth, the real growth is when it's adopted across the economies, when SMEs have it. Pro-worker, industrial, reliable Canadian AI to serve people, not the other way around. To serve small businesses so they can compete and grow. To serve hospitals so they can serve people better. To serve manufacturers to be more productive. To serve workers in every region of the country so they can be upskilled to compete. To serve the public service so we in government can serve our citizens better. But nothing happens unless we've got the right infrastructure. Compute is not just a technical input. It's the core infrastructure of our economy. So just as previous generations and this generation is going to build ports and railways and highways and energy grids, this is part of the backbone, the steel, concrete, and code. So we have to build it. You can't run a sovereign AI strategy on someone else's servers, governed by someone else's rules, and in someone else's jurisdiction. La souveraineté, ce n'est pas un slogan, c'est l'énergie, c'est le calcul informatique, ce sont des données qui restent sous la loi canadienne. Ce sont infrastructures qui servent l'Internet national. And this is the work in front of us. Build Canada, protect Canada, empower Canada. Build because Canada needs the infrastructure, the compute capacity, and the energy needs to make AI possible. And we're going to scale AI champions to build on top of this infrastructure here at home. Protect because trust matters. Canadian data, Canadian IP, Canadian economic advantages must remain here in Canada, protecting our data, protecting our privacy, protecting our kids. You'll see more on that very soon. And as AI becomes more powerful, Canadians expect us to safeguard their privacy, online safety, and protect democratic trust in the digital age. And you know this more than anything in BC after the horrific tragedy at Tumbler Ridge. And empowering because AI matters only if people can use it and we have the skilled workforce. Adoption is an opportunity, but we need the skilled workforce in our businesses, hospitals, researchers, manufacturers, and public servants to use the tools and the compute to grow and to serve. So that's what pro-worker AI for all means. When the Prime Minister and I talk about AI for all, not AI for the few, not AI somewhere else, AI built here, governed here, working for Canadians. And that's what this is all about today. Moving from discussion, and Darren and Ian and I had a discussion in Ottawa, Ravi and I, Rick and I don't know how many discussions we've had about this, got to move from discussion to delivery. And today is the first step in delivery, from potential to infrastructure, to build this economy that reflects who we are: trusted, ambitious, sustainable, sovereign. C'est ça, bâtir le Canada. This is a really important moment. I know there's been lots of interest in this. I'm very proud to be here. I want to thank your leadership. I'm going to introduce Darren now. Interview my old life. I could interview him. And when I say interview him for his next job with us, no. But let me just say thank you to everyone for being here. It is a pleasure to welcome a true builder in Canada at the building he built, who has built a world-class company, as Talib said, anchored in his city of Vancouver, the envy of the world, into a powerhouse globally. We will continue to rely on your leadership and your vision, but what a pleasure to welcome, and please give him a very warm hand for the CEO, Darren.
Doesn't usually go this well. Maybe I should just sign off here. Thank you, Minister Solomon, and I'm so grateful to see such a fantastic collective from municipal to provincial to federal leaning in to support the private sector do something absolutely fantastic for this country, and to do it in such a ambitious, proud, and innovative fashion. So here we go. And everyone else, bonjour à tous. Telus is indeed extremely proud to be selected by the Government of Canada to build the backbone of our nation's sovereign AI infrastructure. Together, we will launch and we will scale 3 of the most advanced and sustainable sovereign AI factories in the world, and we're going to do it right here, Juggy, in British Columbia.
Thank you.
Firstly, let's get going because we need to get on a roll in terms of this build program. So we're going to kick it off by Telus evolving our existing data center in Kamloops into a globally leading AI factory, which will come online shortly. And by shortly, Hisham, I've got 7 weeks left in the job, so you better make it happen by then or I'm not going to be happy. Secondly, we are creating 2 new Vancouver sites in partnership with my good friend Ian and the West Bank team, and it's going to be sexy as hell. Notably, the M3 facility in Vancouver's Mount Pleasant neighborhood will open in the 4th quarter of 2026, and it will continue to scale through 2028. And the 150 West Georgia facility will come online early in 2029. These AI factories are the first project, as Evan said, to advance under the federal government's initiative of enabling large-scale, sovereign AI data centers, and yes, it is a mouthful to get that out. We are pleased to support Canada's mission to strengthen and advance maturely our technology independence and ensure that our country's most sensitive data remains secure and under Canadian jurisdiction. Together, we are advancing Canada's economy and societies with our world-leading sovereign AI factories, adding the critical infrastructure and compute power that our country needs to ensure its digital future and make it a successful one, make it a competitive one, and make it an inclusive one for all Canadians. Indeed, these AI factories represent the gold standard of sovereign and sustainable infrastructure, and that is an important duality, ladies and gentlemen. Nos centres sont de classe mondiale. This includes sovereign, end-to-end solutions that ensure complete Canadian control of the entire AI value chain. Indeed, our facilities enable all aspects of the AI lifecycle, from model pre-training to model fine-tuning to inference being done at large scale, all within a single platform under our control. This means we and our customers, including businesses, entrepreneurs, small businesses, startups, can go out there and train new AI models from scratch, fine-tune them for specific use and applications, and deploy them at large scale, creating real-life products and applications that make a difference in their businesses or within the public sector or in the lives of human beings. Moreover, as the first North American service provider to become NVIDIA's official cloud partner, Telus will leverage NVIDIA's most advanced, accelerated computing technology. We're going to put it to work, and we're going to put it to work for good. The sheer scale of this deployment which is supporting more than 60,000 GPUs and growing to over 150 megawatts, is built on a foundation, Ian, of clean energy. This is possible thanks to the stronger power allocation of 98% renewable hydroelectric energy from BC Hydro and Ravi, the provincial government. Doing it right. To put that into perspective, to do a comparative to understand the magnitude of what is being achieved here, this is enough processing power to run the world's most advanced AI models. And every single computation will happen right here on Canadian soil with infrastructure that is owned and infrastructure that is controlled by Canadians. Telus' AI factories will not only deliver world-leading sovereign compute capacity, but will also set a global leadership standard for excellence in sustainable compute. Not just leading the way, but this country being the leader on a global basis as it relates to sustainable compute. Importantly, these cutting-edge facilities are designed to be the most sustainable AI factories on the planet. By way of example, our AI data centers will utilize advanced cooling and waste heat recovery to achieve efficiency that is 3 times better than industry global standards. Nos infrastructures sont les plus durables au monde. You know, this is a story. It's a story about innovation, innovation originating right here in Vancouver. Combining key ingredients of virtually zero carbon power from BC Hydro, along with 2 district energy systems, we harness the waste heat that is the byproduct of AI data centers. By recycling this waste heat back into the electrical grid, these urban AI factories will heat way more than 150,000 homes just in Metro Vancouver. In effect, we will use electrons twice. Once to power the GPUs in our data centers, and another time to power our homes and our lives. This is both a better use of British Columbia's scarce, low-carbon power, and it is indeed a better outcome for our planet. Importantly, this will support a densely populated region by lowering energy costs and eliminating the carbon footprint, reflecting our team's commitment to enabling Jill Schnarr native accretive outcomes through our innovative technology. And as well, it's going to support more affordable outcomes for our citizens. And isn't that a modern thought and answering a modern challenge? In addition, our AI facilities will use state-of-the-art, closed-loop, direct-to-the-chip liquid cooling systems, consuming 90% less water than traditional data centers. But Ian and I don't want to stop there. Just with that closed-loop system and that direct-to-the-chip cooling, we're a little bit more ambitious in that way. We do think that occasionally, Evan, that it rains in this province. So we thought, all right, let's get together and be collaborative again. And so with Westbank and the team at Creative Energy, we are also discussing how we can leverage the rainwater collected by the roof of BC Place Stadium to further reduce water consumption of the downtown Vancouver AI data center to as close as possible to zero. Let's make that innovation come to fruition and lead the way on a global basis. If I'm a whitecap, I'll stay for that reason alone. Through these groundbreaking developments, we are demonstrating to the world that digital ambition, climate leadership, and social purpose do indeed go hand in hand together. Vocation sociale et leadership climatique vont ensemble. Moreover, this transformative project will support Canadian talent. It'll support Canadian research. It will support the development of Canadian intellectual property, bringing more jobs and incredible innovations to life right here in British Columbia that we can take right across our nation. By way of illustration, at full scale, our AI factories are expected to deliver $10 billion in economic value to the province and Canada. At the same time, the project will create more than 1,000 construction jobs and support a further 525 permanent, high-skilled operational jobs, the kinds of careers that keeps incredible talent right here in British Columbia. You know, our AI factories are also powered by the billions of dollars we've already invested in our world-leading Telus Pure Fiber network. Our secure, high-speed broadband network will connect our infrastructure to the businesses, entrepreneurs, and governments who need it. Since 2000, Telus has invested $300 billion across Canada to build globally leading pure fiber and 5G plus wireless networks that connect 99% of the population. At TELUS, we're always building Canada. Nos réseaux connectent 99% de la population. Nous sommes vraiment fiers. You know, let's put this into perspective. These investments represent the financial equivalent of constructing 58 St. Lawrence seaways. They represent the financial equivalent of 84 Canadian Pacific cross-country railways. They represent the financial equivalent of 27 Trans-Canada highways on a coast-to-coast basis. It is about building Canada. It is about steel and concrete and code and pure fiberglass. In BC alone, we've already invested $70 billion in the province, with a further $15 billion committed through 2030. And it's going to provide the crucial high-speed, low-latency backbone required to securely move massive AI data sets between the facilities that we're building and our Canadian businesses that are going to put that intelligence to work. Importantly, TELUS's AI factories are providing the secure, sovereign foundation our country needs to create made-in-Canada solutions, to accelerate growth, and to advance our nation's place in the global digital economy for generations to come. This is an investment that's going to keep paying back economically, innovatively, competitively, and critically at a societal level to be felt positively by our citizens. Our Rimouski Sovereign AI Factory in Quebec, which we only opened in September of 2025 as Canada's first fully sovereign AI factory, is already sold out. Rimouski, tourne au maximum maintenant. This, without a doubt, empirically clearly validates the strong market demand for sovereign AI infrastructure and compute capabilities, putting it to work. As a result, we will be expanding our compute inventory in Rimouski, a facility that was recognized as the fastest and most powerful supercomputer in Canada and the 78th globally by Top 500. This expansion will ensure we meet the continued demand and serve growing AI ecosystems coming from Canadian businesses, entrepreneurs, startups, researchers, and yes, government at all levels. Importantly, our commitment to the ethical and responsible use of AI is something that truly sets Telus and our team members apart. Get this, Telus is the only telco to sign the Canadian Voluntary Code of Conduct for AI, and we were the first company in the world to be certified as ISO Privacy by Design. Furthermore, Telus was the first Canadian company to commit to the Hiroshima AI Process Reporting Framework, which provides organizations with guiding principles and a code of conduct to promote safe, secure, and trustworthy advanced AI systems. And as a result of our exemplary team efforts to integrate responsible AI practices into AI systems and to foster trust and benefit society as a whole, Telus was recognized by the Responsible AI Institute for our global leadership in ethical and accountable AI. It's not just what we do with the tool, it's how we do it along this particularly exciting path. We are thrilled to help Canada display the type of leadership and innovation that the pervasive adoption of AI desperately needs. When Ian and I met with Prime Minister Carney and Minister Solomon in Ottawa back in late 2024, we were truly inspired by their determination, their grit to promote Canadian values, and in doing so, creating value for Canadians along the way. I love that symbiotic combination. It is uniquely Canadian, and it is a North Star for our country to follow. Today, right here, right now, Canada takes its place amongst the global leaders in sovereign, sustainable AI infrastructure, and it is being built right here in British Columbia by some pretty skilled and smart Canadians. Together, I think we're sending a clear message to the world. Canada is going to lead the AI revolution with uncompromising technological power, with unparalleled climate leadership, and an unwavering sense of responsibility towards AI for good. Good with a capital G. So, I won't get to say this very much going forward. On behalf of 130,000 of my best friends that are the team members across the globe at Telus, including the 20,000 of my friends that call BC their home, thank you for joining us for this seminal announcement that will benefit our country, for generations to come. Merci, thank you. I cannot wait to cheer this one on, even if it's from the sidelines. Cheers.
get a good feeling, yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Darren. Working for Darren for the last 26 years has been the highlight of my career. I think it's taken 10 years off my life, but we are so grateful, and thank you for everything that you've done for us. Now, I'd like to welcome to the stage the Honorable Ravi Kahlon, Minister of Jobs and Economic Growth.
It is fantastic to be here, and good morning to everyone, and thank you. I want to recognize that we're on the traditional territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations. I was just sitting next to Bridget, and I said, Bridget, I think you should go next. It's tough to follow Darren, but it is a real pleasure to do that. And I want to recognize my colleagues, Rick Lumac, Minister of State for AI, Diana Gibson, Minister of Citizen Services, of course, Talib, Evan, the whole mayor and his whole team that are here today, and Ian Gillespie. Ian's been mentioned a few times, but I don't think I've run into Ian ever without him mentioning how important this project is, not for Telus, not for anyone else, but how important it is for the country. I want to recognize your passion for this project. And I want to recognize, Darren, to be honest, I'm here for two reasons. One is obviously this is an amazing announcement, but really on behalf of the province, I'm here to recognize this amazing leader that we have here in the community. And, a lot of people just quietly do their thing and they work in their companies and they put their heads down in the valley, as Evan described. But every once in a while, I think it's important for us to stop and recognize the importance of the legacy that people love. This was a regional company, I think 26 years ago when you started. Now it's global. I don't go to a country in the world where I don't run into somebody say, I work for Telus. I was just in India when the whole representative team showed up and they said, we all work for Telus. We're really proud to work for Telus. This is a global company, but it's not only the 26 years of growing this company into a global powerhouse, it's also the good that's been done along the way, and I want to recognize the good. There are thousands of kids that go to school every single day with a backpack full of goods that are able to do that because of your leadership. And those are silent successes. You do it, it happens, but you don't understand how important it is for a family that doesn't have the means to have their kid get a backpack with all the same school supplies as everyone else. It's the $100 million in Pollinator Fund that supports all the small innovators here in the community that see an opportunity to grow their company because of your leadership and because of the work of Telus. It's the millions of dollars that were raised by all the Telus members to support local communities, the endless amount of charities. And so as much as I'm here for the announcement, I'm really here to say, Darren, on behalf of the province, I want to thank you for your leadership, your commitment. I know Minister Dix wasn't able to be here today, but he said, make sure you tell Darren that he's phenomenal and we value as a leader. So please, can we give Darren another round of applause? Now, as has been said, my friends, a global economy is changing like we've never seen before. People, businesses in BC, across Canada, they're feeling the impacts of tariffs, they're feeling the war impacts that are driving up their costs, and artificial intelligence is changing the game. And it's the fast-growing industry here in British Columbia the innovative businesses that are making a real impact. We're solving challenges in healthcare and transportation and mining exploration and so many other sectors. I've learned one thing from this global uncertainty that we're dealing with right now. It's that we need as a country to take care of ourselves. We need to work as proud Canadians, as Evan highlighted in his comments. We need to build a more independent economy, and we can do that together. All of this takes data. And it takes a lot of it. And with this global order, as well as Evan has mentioned, changing all around us, we need to keep Canadian data within Canadian borders. And it takes investments and it takes power. And the government of British Columbia, we understand the importance of this. That's why we're allocating up to 400 megawatts of power and data centers over the next 2 years alone. And through a Look West economic strategy, we're positioning AI and quantum computing as priority sectors for economic growth here in British Columbia. I'm so pleased to see Telus and others making investments to keep our data at home. Working together with our federal government counterparts, we're doing it the way that supports the environment. And I think in my opening comments, I was talking about the amazing things that Aaron and the team here in Telus has done. I think what's most remarkable around this is, I think everyone knows, the conversation about data centers is happening everywhere. Some good and some challenging. And Telus, in what you've proposed here today, I think you are a beacon of hope for all communities that understand that we need this compute power, but they want to see it be done in a thoughtful and ethical and environmentally friendly way. And so the reason why my colleagues and I continued to advocate to Evan on them was because when we send a message to the world about how we do things in Canada, how we do things in British Columbia, how we do things in Vancouver, this is the type of project that captures the values of British Columbians and the values of Vancouvers. Not only bringing on data compute power, but also doing it by using liquid cooling, 80% reduction, I think you said. I'm going to keep repeating it. But also using that heat to heat homes in our communities. This is what British Columbians want us to do. And Telus has led the way. I am so excited about this initiative, and I want to congratulate everyone that was involved in it, everyone that's going to be involved in delivering it, and of course, everyone that will benefit from that. And so congratulations to you, Evan. You are welcome here anytime, my friend, that you want to make announcements like this. Come here more often. And you're right, Talib is a fantastic champion for us in this community. We rely on him heavily. With that, I know I'm going to introduce the next person who is really excited about this announcement, who wants to see this type of investment in our communities. Now I'd like to welcome up the Mayor of Vancouver, Mayor Ken Sims.
Well, thanks, Revy. All right, sit down now. All right, come on, you hog. Yeah, well, wow, it's pretty exciting being here today. And before we get started, I want to acknowledge all the ministers here and my teammates, because while I'm the mayor of the city of Vancouver, make no mistake about it, this is a team sport and we're all together. So we have Deputy Mayor Sarah Kirby-Young and councillors Peter Meisner, Lenny Joe, and Mike Klassen here. Why don't we just be consistent with the lovin' with Darren? Is that okay? Can we take a couple of minutes? Yeah. Oh my God, are you blushing? And this is kind of a personal story as well, because in a prior life, well, actually still kind of my life, we set up a company, a healthcare company, about 26 years ago. And Telus has been an incredible partner with us. You know, I remember we're on copper, you guys dropped a bunch of T1 lines into our building, and you know, you helped us with telephony when telephony was a thing, or like it was like latest and greatest technology, tracking, you know, making sure your people were signing in the right places remotely. And the reason I share that with you is for two reasons. First of all, we wouldn't have been able to expand globally if it wasn't for Telus. And secondly, it's been incredible, not as an entrepreneur and not as a mayor, but just as a resident and a proud Vancouverite, British Columbian, and Canadian, to see how, you know, you have led Telus as an organization from a regional telco, and you've been innovative in your thinking. You thought outside of the box. You went into healthcare in a whole bunch of different areas globally. And so it's just incredible to see that entrepreneurial spirit in creating a global powerhouse right here in the city that we love. So thank you very much. You can clap for him as well. So thank you, everyone, for being here today. And let's just say we are super excited that Vancouver is signing onto Canada's AI future. So 2 sovereign AI factories coming to our city. Needless to say, this is an exciting step forward that will see Vancouver emerge as a hub for made in Canada innovation that will lead globally. Now, these facilities will serve as critical national infrastructure accelerating Canada's AI ambitions, and I'll talk about that in a sec. These world-class AI facilities will be in the heart of our city and will attract high-value investment, create skilled jobs, and ensure Vancouver businesses are first in line for the most advanced AI capabilities available, and that will be transformative for our economy. And so we're building sovereign capability here rooted in Canadian values and in Canadian talent. And so I'm going to digress a little bit here, and I'm going to make this one real, because we talked about a lot of big numbers. We talked about like the environment and what have you, but I don't think people really understand how significant this is. So I remember reading AI Superpowers by Kai-Fu. It would have been about 8 years ago. And the premises of the book was AI is coming, and it's coming in hot. And the US and China, they were going to be winners. And that was it. And that's not true. What we've shown today is Canada actually can compete. And it's exciting to see that, because not only can we compete, it is in our national strategic interests to make sure that this is based in Canada for a whole host of reasons. I don't know if many people know this as well. I'm actually a patron of Abundance 360. So that's Peter Diamandis' program. So I get access to Peter Diamandis, Shalim Ismail, Ray Kurzweil, Eric Schmidt, the former chairman of Google. And we've been talking about this ever since I've been in that program for 8 years. And I don't think people understand how significant AI is going to be in all of our lives and how fast it's coming. AI is doubling every 5 months. That doesn't really mean anything to people when I say that. But when I put it in the context of AI will be 64 times better in 3 years. Think of ChatGPT. Think of OpenClaw. Think of Claude Code. 64 times better. Like I'm running a bunch of like AI agents. I have 11 AI agents running right now, doing all my, like a lot of my work in the background, and it's going to be 64 times better. And 5 months after that, it's going to be 128 times better. This investment is so significant to our city, our province, and our country, and sovereignty, and jobs, and economic opportunity. It's mind-blowing. So Darren, Telus, Ian, thank you so much. This is way bigger than anyone thinks. It's not even about $9 billion. You talked about 1,000 jobs. No way. Multiply that by a massive multiple. We are talking about the future of every single industry in this city, in this province, in this country. It is nation building. So thank you. So needless to say, we're excited. And anyways, Vancouver's ready, and we're super excited. And we just want to thank the federal government, the provincial government, and everyone who made this possible. So thank you.
We have one last speaker. We saved the best for last. It's Bridget Anderson, President and CEO of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade.
Well, it is absolutely fantastic to be here at Telus and to see so many leaders committed to the future of the innovation economy in British Columbia and Canada. And I know I'm standing between you and a coffee and a muffin, so I will be brief, but this is an important perspective to bring from the business community. These are challenging and uncertain times, but as one of the voices for the business community, we know that business leaders are feeling uncertain, but challenging times often provide clarity and form the foundation for building a better future. Telus's choice to scale its sovereign AI factory network across 3 world-class facilities in BC reinforces our position as a place where ambitious companies want to invest, where talent wants to stay, and where new technologies can turn into real economic opportunity. Vancouver now hosts over 125,000 tech workers and a strong cluster of established and startup companies. Indeed, Telus is developing its BC Sovereign AI cluster as a direct response to that market demand. It means that BC businesses, regardless of their size, can develop, adopt, and scale advanced technologies while keeping their data, intellectual property, and talent here at home. For decades, Telus has been enabling innovation across this province by investing in digital infrastructure supporting emerging technologies and helping Canadian businesses and institutions compete on the world stage while keeping their families and their values firmly grounded in our communities. And much of that leadership is a reflection of the person who leads this organization. I am also delighted to be here to thank you, Darren Entwistle, for your leadership in helping to build BC. You have transformed Telus into a global technology leader. You understand that Canada's next chapter in tech leadership depends on ambition, on partnership. Thank you, Ian, for your partnership in this, and the confidence to build here in BC. Your legacy looms large across British Columbia and across Canada, but especially here in Vancouver, where Telus is proudly headquartered. So on behalf of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade and the business community, we are very proud to be here today and look forward to seeing the impact of this investment will have across the Lower Mainland, across the province, and across our country. Thank you.